Assalamualaikum. Today I would like to present chapter 1 of my study entitled Students' Experience of Stress and Anxiety in Academic Life among USIM Students. Firstly, introduction. Stress and anxiety have become significant concern in the academic life of USIM students. Academic demands such as exams, assignment, and expectation of excellence contribute to psychological distress. Excessive or prolonged stress negatively affects mental well-being, academic performance, and quality of life. Students experience stress and anxiety differently depending on individual characteristics and coping abilities. Therefore, this study examines stress and anxiety in USIM students' academic life to gain deeper understanding. Next, problem statement. Stress and anxiety increasingly affect students' academic experience and mental well-being at USIM. Heavy coursework, continuous assessment, and strict deadlines create prolonged academic pressure. High stress levels affect concentration, time management, motivation, and emotional well-being. Previous studies mainly focus on measuring stress levels using quantitative methods. This study provides limited insight into students' personal experience of stress and anxiety. Therefore, qualitative understanding is needed to improve academic and psychosocial support systems. The research questions are: firstly, how USIM students experience stress and anxiety in their academic life? Secondly, how do USIM students perceive and describe their feelings towards stress and anxiety throughout their academic journey? And the last one, how do USIM students cope with and manage stress and anxiety related to their academics? Next, we move to research objective. Firstly, to explore the experiences of USIM students regarding stress and anxiety in their academic life. Secondly, to understand USIM students' perception and feelings towards stress and anxiety throughout their academic journey. And the last one, to identify the ways USIM students cope with and manage stress and anxiety in academic life. Next, definition of the terms. Firstly, stress. Stress occurs when academic demands exceed students' ability to cope, such as workload and time pressure. Secondly, anxiety. Anxiety involves excessive worry and fear related to examination, performance, and fear of failure. And the last one, academic life. Academic life refers to students' overall experience in higher education, including learning, social interaction, and personal growth. Last but not least, significance of the study are: this study highlights the real challenges students face in managing academic stress and emotional well-being. It contributes to theoretical understanding of academic stress, anxiety, and coping mechanisms. The findings guide institutions in developing effective academic and psychosocial support systems. Ultimately, the study supports students' resilience and holistic academic and personal development. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Niknur Hanis Akilah binti Yahya. My matric number 1231432, and together with my group member we will presenting chapter 2 literature review. I will be covering slide 1 until 4, which focus on the background of the study stress and anxiety among university students in USIM. This chapter reviews past literature review related to students' experiences of stress and anxiety in academic life. It discusses academic stressors, experiences of anxiety, students' perceptions, as well as coping strategies and support systems within higher education. The main purpose of this literature review is to understand how stress and anxiety affect students' academic life. However, previous studies mostly focus on general findings and lack an in-depth exploration of students' personal experiences. Therefore, this study addresses this gap by adopting a qualitative approach to explore students' life experiences more deeply. Educational industry, higher education. This study is situated within the higher education sector with a specific focus on students at University Science Islam Malaysia or USIM. University students are expected to balance academic demands, personal and social life, and for USIM students, religious commitments. Managing these multiple responsibilities often leads to increased stress and anxiety. As a result, universities play a dual role not only as centers for academic learning but also as institutions responsible for supporting students' mental and emotional well-being. Next, stress among university students. Stress is a common experience among university students. It is usually caused by heavy coursework, examinations, tight deadlines, and fear of failure. Research shows that academic stress can lead to emotional exhaustion and reduced academic satisfaction. Globally, most university students experience moderate to high levels of stress. For USIM students, stress may be higher due to additional responsibilities such as religious activities and leadership roles. Without proper coping strategies, this may increase the risk of burnout and fatigue. Next, anxiety among university students. Anxiety is closely linked to stress and can significantly affect students' academic performance. It often arises from academic pressure, fear of failure, and uncertainty about future careers. Common symptoms of anxiety include excessive worry, poor concentration, and low confidence. After the COVID-19 pandemic, anxiety levels among students have increased globally. In the USIM context, anxiety may be intensified due to the dual pressure of academic responsibilities and religious duties.
My name is Nur Munira Atira binti Mansur. My matric number 1231438, and I will be presenting slides 5 to 7, which focus on the relationship between stress and anxiety, the supporting theories, and the chapter summary. Stress and anxiety do not occur separately. Instead, they are closely interconnected. High academic stress often leads to increased anxiety, especially when students feel unable to cope with academic demands. Without effective coping strategies, prolonged stress can result in psychological distress. This negatively affects students' motivation, academic engagement, and emotional well-being. Therefore, stress and anxiety should be addressed together rather than treat as separate issues. This study is supported by three main theories. First, the transactional theory of stress and coping explains that stress depends on how students perceive academic situation and their ability to cope. Students may use problem-focused or emotion-focused coping strategies. Second, cognitive appraisal theory suggests that anxiety arises from how students interpret academic challenges based on their thoughts and past experiences. This theory is highly relevant for qualitative research. Lastly, social support theory highlights the importance of support from friends, family, lecturers, and advisors in reducing stress and anxiety. A lack of support may lead to loneliness and higher stress levels. In conclusion, USIM students face both academic pressure and religious responsibilities, which increase their risk of stress and anxiety. These challenges affect students' focus, motivation, and emotional well-being. Therefore, universities must actively support students' mental health by providing services such as counseling and peer support programs. This chapter emphasizes that student well-being is essential for achieving both academic success and personal development. Thank you.
My name is Nur Safia binti Fauzi. My matric number 1231364. I want to talk about research methodology. First, research method. This study adopts a qualitative research approach to understand university student experience, perception, and emotional response related to stress and anxiety in academic life. A qualitative approach is appropriate as stress and anxiety involve complex personal experience that require in-depth exploration. Data were collected through semi-structured in-depth interview, which allowed the researcher to explore factors contributing to academic stress, such as workload and examination pressure, as well as how students manage and cope with these challenges. Second, research design. This study employs a phenomenological research design, which aims to gain a deep understanding of student life experience and the meaning that attach to stress and anxiety in an academic context. The design focuses on three main aspects. First, identify student experience of stress and anxiety. Second, exploring their perception and emotional response, and understanding the coping strategies they are used to manage academic pressure. Third, research population. The research population consists of undergraduate students at University Sains Islam Malaysia, USIM, who experience stress and anxiety due to academic demand. A total of 8 undergraduate students were selected as participants and interviewed in deep. This sample size is appropriate for phenomenological research, which emphasizes deep and richness of data rather than large sample size. Last, research sampling. This study used purposive sampling, where participants were selected based on specific criteria, including experiencing academic stress and anxiety and being willing to share their experience. This sample technique ensures the collection of rich, relevant and credible qualitative data, supporting a deeper understanding of how university students cope with stress and anxiety in academic life.
For the conclusion, the qualitative study explored university students' experience of stress and anxiety in academic life. Through semi-structured interview and thematic analysis, the study provides an in-depth understanding of students' perception, emotional responses, and coping strategies regarding academic stress. The findings show that students face stress from academic workload, examination, deadlines, and fear of failure. Yet, their responses and coping methods vary according to individual perception and available support. Some students employ proactive strategies such as time management and social support, while others struggle to manage stress, resulting in heightened anxiety and emotional distress. Overall, the study contributes to a clearer understanding of student lived experience in coping with academic stress and anxiety. The findings highlight the importance of considering students' perceptive and coping strategies when developing effective academic support system and mental well-being initiative, thereby promoting both students' well-being and academic success.